guys, thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already subscribed, please do, because I know if you like this video, you're gonna love all the content that I bring to this channel, and there is so much more to come for the new year. So today we're going to talk about the Hourglass Vanish Seamless Foundation Stick. It's one of the most popular foundations on the market right now. I definitely took my time and waited for the colder months to roll around. Now that winter is right around the corner, this is the perfect time for someone like me with combo oily skin to try out a stick foundation. And I have, and let me tell you, you're going to want to know all of my thoughts about this particular product. So let's get right into it. Okay guys, first and foremost, you know we always have to jump right in with price. I paid $56 Canadian. You guys south of the border, you'll pay 46 US dollars. And on top of that, if you would like, you can also purchase the Hourglass Foundation Brush that was specifically designed to be paired with the stick foundation to give the most seamless coverage and look to your makeup. That's what Hourglass says. And if you're curious, the brush costs the same as the foundation. 56 Canadian, 46 US.
Hell no, to the no, no, no.
So I'm gonna leave it up to you whether or not you think that the brush is essential for getting the most seamless finish, as Hourglass says. Personally, for me, I am very pleased with my finish. I am wearing it today in this video, and I will absolutely not be purchasing that brush, but if you would like to, it is available. So packaging wise, Hourglass hits it out of the park every time. As far as I'm concerned, I have no complaints with their packaging of any of their products. This is gorgeous. You get your shade on the bottom here. This is sort of a chocolate brown type of coloring on the tube with the Hourglass logo in gold. Gorgeous. 5 stars, 2 thumbs up for packaging. The foundation does come in 26 shades on Sephora.com and also on Hourglass.com, of course, their dedicated website. So 26 is an okay number. Of course, for me, I'm a woman of color and I want to see the widest range possible, and there are many brands out there that carry much more than 26 shades in their foundation ranges, but 26 is pretty good, and I was able to find a decent match. I am in the color Amber. For those of you who would like to know, I'm an NC 44 to 45 if I do get a little bit of color in the summer. So this shade, I absolutely believe does come off sort of orange. It does have quite a bit of an orange undertone, as you'll see in the demo, but it is the best match for me. Interestingly enough, this foundation, as expensive as it is, actually contains one of the smaller amounts of product compared to all the other stick foundations on the market right now. This is only 0.25 ounces of product. So it is an extremely expensive foundation for the amount of product that you get. It is good for 18 months. And if you notice here, Hourglass has gone out of their way to be a little different and make it in a triangular shape as opposed to the normal circular shape that most stick foundations on the market are shaped. Personally, for me, I really don't see any added benefit. I know many people have said because of the triangular shape, it's easier to get under the eyes with it, around the nose, to get into the different contours of the face. But for me, it really is just a gimmick. I don't see the shape of the foundation being triangular to be any more beneficial than your standard circular shape. If you are interested, this is what the box looks like that the foundation comes in. And it is a really well-designed box, I may say, and I definitely encourage you guys to keep the foundation in the box if you do decide to purchase it, because it has everything that you need. You don't need to go to any websites to look up any additional information because it has everything here. It gives you the amount, you have the name, you have the ingredients on the side, and also you have directions as to how best to use it. So I thought that was great that Hourglass put all that information right on the packaging. So definitely keep this so you have that reference to come back to anytime you need to. Okay guys, let's get right into some claims. So Hourglass does claim that their Vanish Seamless Finish Foundation Stick is long wearing, waterproof, gives you 12-hour coverage, is also vegan, gives the coverage of a concealer, fluidity of a liquid, weightlessness of a powder. So you should be able to use it in all different aspects of complexion makeup: foundation, concealer, highlight, contour. It does claim to be invisible, full coverage, giving you sheer to full depending on how you apply it. It also claims to have double the amount of pigment versus traditional foundations, and to adjust to your body temperature to effortlessly blend into your skin. It is made in Korea, which I love. Like I told you guys before in my Makeup Forever stick foundation review, that one is made in Japan, and I am just all about skincare and also makeup products that are made in Asia. I just feel like they just pay extra attention to detail. So I love that. On Sephora.com, I did find something very interesting, that the skin types and the finishes that are listed there cover the entire range. So usually a lot of times companies will say our foundation is more geared towards normal to dry or normal to oily. This foundation claims to be suitable for all skin types: normal, dry, oily, combo, sensitive. And also it gives you all types of finishes, which I found very interesting, and I'm assuming that that has to do with exactly how you apply the foundation as well as what you do before to prep the skin and also after to set the makeup. Because they claim that it gives you a satin, natural, dewy, matte finish, all of the above. So I'm assuming that the best way to be able to play around with that is dependent on how much you use and how you prep and set. So my personal thoughts on my experience using the foundation: it definitely feels good on the skin. Again, I am wearing it today. It doesn't feel heavy at all to me. I felt like my other products I put on top blended seamlessly, no problem with that. I do feel that it is very highly pigmented. That is definitely true. I did get decent coverage with one layer. I definitely found that I got a good medium coverage with the first layer. It does feel very lightweight on the skin. I definitely enjoyed how it looked while building, especially for the purposes of being on camera. I do put a little bit more makeup on than normal, just to give you guys more of a feel of how a more full coverage look would be. And I didn't find throughout the days I was testing the foundation that it looked cakey or heavy at all. One thing that I do have to say is I definitely did notice that skincare is of extreme importance when using this foundation. Right between my brows, I do tend to get a little bit of dryness, as well as around my mouth sometimes, especially now moving into winter. And you really do need to be on top of your skincare game in terms of proper moisturization and proper exfoliation before wearing this foundation. Because interestingly enough, I did find that it did a little I could tell, cling to some dryness, but also at the same time, as the day wore on, I did find the oilier areas of my face could get quite oily if I didn't use a proper mattifying primer beforehand and or mattifying setting powder. So that's very interesting that both of those two things could happen at the same time with the same product. So definitely you have to be on top of your skincare, or you will find that your dry areas and your oily areas could cause problems. I definitely feel like this is the type of foundation that is better used with a brush. Today and in the demo, you saw me use my beauty blender because that's just my favorite tool. I'm always going to do the most to try to have my foundation turn out looking the best using a beauty blender, but I understand why Hourglass actually made a brush specifically to be used with the foundation, because it really is the best way to apply and blend it out. Another tip I will also give you is any of you out there with large, very visible pores, you must use a primer because your pores will be in the spotlight, large and in charge for all to see if you do not. This foundation does nothing to minimize pores, and they will absolutely, as the day goes on, become more and more pronounced if you do not do that. I guess another unfortunate thing that I did realize was right now I do have a couple of dark spots on my chin, one larger one on my cheek and on my forehead. And I did notice that as the time wore on throughout the day, I noticed that they became more visible. So of course that means that the foundation did fade, which is something that I've never really experienced with foundation fading away. But I do have to say that I did notice that that did happen. So that is definitely something to be mindful if you want to wear this out for an evening to a special event, that there is a possibility of the foundation wearing off. So in order to prevent that, of course, again, choose your primers wisely and choose your setting powders wisely. So in conclusion, guys, I do have to say that this is a beautiful foundation. It does look very beautiful on the skin. It gives a beautiful look. But for me personally, it is definitely not one of my favorites. Lately, the last month or two, I've been trying out several foundation sticks, and this is not one that I would put in my top 3, top 5. The color is a little off for me. I am not liking how much orange there is in it for my shade specifically. And also I feel like for the price and the amount that you get, I'd rather spend that money, which is only I think a couple of dollars off of Makeup Forever's foundation stick, and I'd rather get that one. I absolutely, hands down, enjoy the finish and the longevity of that foundation over Hourglass. So that's it, guys. I hope you got all the information you need about this foundation. Please let me know if you've tried it, whether you do like it or not, and like this video so I know to continue doing more foundation reviews. Of all the makeup in the world, that is my favorite type, and I love doing reviews, checking out what's new, what's gonna make us all look the most beat and flawless that we can possibly be. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.